Hello viewers, well I visited McLaren earlier this week in relation to their new World's Fastest Gamer competition. We're going to be learning about that in the next couple of videos, or at least what information we have so far. But first I just wanted to get up this video of Jenson talking a little bit about Monaco, a little bit about what it's like to work in the McLaren simulator, and some of what you can look forward to.
McLaren on the racing driver, Mr. Jenson. Hello, come to the stage.
Yes.
How are you doing, Jenson? It's been a while.
Very good. Are these the $5,000 chairs?
Yes, they are.
Okay, sorry. It always makes me smile when I see these beautiful pieces of art and understand how expensive they are.
There's 150 of them upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's where the budget is. Sorry.
The $1 million seat, though, of course, is
Yes.
in the MCO 32 this weekend. How are preparations going?
Yeah, really good actually. Yeah, really good. I'm very excited. So first of all, it was great to see the performance in Barcelona in qualifying by Fernando. P7, I mean, what a step forward. He obviously did a great lap, but I think it just shows the how much improvement that the team has made. Massive. I can't say how many points of downforce, but it was a lot. And there's another good step for Monaco as well. So very positive, and for me, it's a great race to come back for. You know, it was my home for 17 years. I've won in Monaco. I've had some great races in Monaco, and it's a circuit where the car should work really well. So yeah, it should be a fun weekend. And I've been in the simulator this morning. Did a bit of time a couple of weeks ago as well, and so preparations are going well. Understanding all the new systems and what have you with the car. Because there are some things that are very different. In terms of the feel of the car, when I jumped in, I initially didn't like the feel, and this was before the updates. Okay. So we did make some setup changes, and it felt much better, and it suited my style a lot more. And with the updates, it's pretty awesome to drive. So
Perhaps potential for some points for the weekend?
Hopefully, you know, I think if Fonzie can put it 7th in Barcelona, we should be looking sweet for Monaco. So very excited, and first of all, I got to see if I still know what to do when I get in the car on Thursday.
There must be some pressure there, because that racetrack.
Not really.
No.
No.
More or less.
Every excuse possible. So no, it's fine. I mean, if I get to turn 2 and I feel totally out of my depth, I'll just drive off into the sunset and not come back. So it's fine. It's not a problem. So I have no pressure.
Fair enough. So, okay, let's take it back kind of 12 months, because you're in a bit of a different situation now, of course. With regard to the simulator and preparation, how often were you in the simulator? How much work did you do in that environment outside of the real race car?
Quite a lot. You know, after every race, we would jump in. Well, first of all, over the winter, you do a lot of simulator stuff. First, because you can't test. You're banned from testing until a certain day, and you have your set dates. So we did a lot of simulator work. Getting a feel for the new car, and I know the guys did a lot of work in the simulator because of this massive change in regulations this year. For me, yeah, before and after every race I was in the simulator. Initially, for the first hour or so, it's correlation, making sure that it works correctly and it is what it's supposed to be. So then we can start setup work. So it's been really useful, and for over a race weekend, it's probably the most use because when I'm driving the car, one of the test drivers is back at base, doing exactly the same as me, with the same setup to make sure the correlation is good, and then after I've finished running in practice, I talk to my engineers and we go through the balance of the car. It's too much understeer here, or the balance isn't quite right on entry. So we think of new ideas, and immediately they test it in the simulator. And they come back with a yes or no, whether it's in the right direction and it's what we want and what will help our car. So we put it on the car. So we don't question it. If the correlation is good, we don't question it at all.
So from your point of view, is it more about feel, or is it use of data?
It's use of data, and there are a couple of things that are very difficult to get right with the simulator, and one is oversteer, especially on entry. So we have a few cues for that, which really help. But apart from that, it's realistic enough that when you drive around Monaco and you're about to hit a wall, you take your hands off the steering wheel and close your eyes. So I also fell in the port twice today. Hopefully that's not going to happen.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I fell off, you know, after turn 1 when you go up the hill?
Yeah.
I fell off on the right-hand side, rolled. I've never rolled in the simulator before, but I rolled.
That's quite a long way from the water.
Yeah, I know. Lucky enough, the impact isn't as big as in reality, but you still get a jolt.
So,
G-force.
So do you know much about the world's fastest gamer? Well, do you know much about the world's fastest gamer?
To be fair, I've been living in California, and all I know is dogs and cycling at the moment.
Okay.
But sounds good though.
Okay, good. Don't worry, I'm not asking you.
No, I know, of course I know.
What do you think is the for the winner of this competition, what do you think the biggest challenge is going to be a simulator driver for McLaren?
Dealing with people like me, probably. Dealing with drivers. We're a pain in the ass, we really are, so dealing with us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty much...
No, on a serious note, I think, first of all, it's a pretty awesome opportunity. You know, we use the simulator a lot, as I said, for setup and
you love it, don't
work. Yes, yes. I'm glad that whoever wins is going to be doing the simulator because it's in a dark room and sometimes it gets very lonely in the car. But yeah, it's great. And I think it does help us so much. So they can have a really important role, and hopefully they don't feel the pressure too much, because it's an important role, and we do really listen to the simulator as we wouldn't have it. So I had my set time in the simulator today, which was good. But as soon as I get out, another driver gets in, so it's non-stop being used. And I know that the engineers running the simulator are also fantastic, because Angel worked with me last year, and now he's in the simulator doing some work. So it's an important role, and hopefully going to help the team in the future.
So these guys are absolutely convinced that the winner will bring absolute value to the team. So as a Formula 1 World Champion, perhaps with Fernando next year, are you seriously going to take the advice of these sim drivers?
Well, yes, we listen to the simulator, and we have many engineers that work with the drivers in the simulator. Our race engineers do time in the simulator, not driving it, but working with drivers, because you don't just jump in it on your own and do your laps. There's 4 or 5 engineers in with you when you're driving in the room with all the information, just as we have at Grand Prix. Every single bit of information you have at Grand Prix, you have in the simulator as well. So if you say you're doing something but you're not, and you're lying, they know. So the engineers will make sure that they are up to speed and have a good understanding of what the car is doing. Obviously, if they're quick in the simulator and in the gaming world, they should be good in our simulator. Hopefully they have a good understanding of how a car works and what a setup change does, because that's the more important thing for us, really. Understanding what a ride height change will do at the rear, what a rear geometry change will do, or a bar change, frontal rear, or roll stiffness, or that sort of thing is for us the most important. And their feeling, they need to be able to feel everything through their hands and bum.
Good stuff. On that note, we're going to end. Jenson, best of luck for the weekend. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Thanks
Jenson,
very much.
ladies and gents.
So a few words there from Jenson Button. Looking forward to his run. We've seen practice there today in Monaco, and he's putting in some decent laps. He's there and abouts around Stoffel, just getting used to the car. Obviously, he hasn't had any practice apart from in the simulator, which proves just how vital it is to all of the teams. In part 2, we're going to look at a Q&A from some of the various different people behind the World's Fastest Gamer project, and in part 3 we're going to hear from Zach Brown as well. Busy weekend for him with both Monaco and the Indy 500 to manage as well. A lot happening for him there at McLaren, but that's it from me for now. As ever, more soon.